Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tia here. If you are new, please like and subscribe. For today's video, I am going to be talking about the Ace family situation that's going on. But pretty much, if you don't know who they are, they're basically like popular YouTubers. Back in the day, they had like a family channel that was only them two and their first child, and now they have like 3 kids all together or whatever. But recently, Catherine, which is the wife, she came out of a report like saying that like Austin, her husband at the time, had been cheating on her since like I think it was like back in 2020, or like at least that's when she found out. But apparently, like, I don't know, my opinion, I feel like he's probably been cheating since they first fucking got together. I don't know, I feel like ever since they were posting videos of the first kid, it kind of went like downhill after their next kids. Like, you know how like YouTubers, they have like the content babies and shit. I felt like this was kind of like the same thing. Like, they had the first baby, and then they grew to like, you know, 1 million followers overnight, and then they keep having babies for content, you know. But anyways, she came out with a book that was like, you know, I guess she wrote it with an actual author or whatever, and she came out with a book basically exposing her ex-husband for cheating on her since 2020, back when she was literally like pregnant at the time, and like all of this stuff, and how she knew, and how she I think she found out from like a family friend or like whatever. So basically, this is blowing up all over on TikTok right now. This is like the new thing that people are talking about, which is like, you know, her book and all the trauma and shit, right? So basically, like, she has evidence because she's lived through this, right? And me personally, like, I always believe the woman most of the time, because, you know, if your man cheated on you while you were pregnant, like, some people would be like, dang, like, what did you do to cause him to cheat? My opinion is like, okay, so he was a shitty person, right? So she has all this evidence basically recalling the moments where she saw the side girl standing at the sidelines at one of their events and stuff like that. And she, like, the way to describe it is so good. Like, there was a good author who wrote the book. I only read, like, you know, the first 2 chapters, I think, that were free. But pretty much it goes into like detail how she's talking about she knew that the girl that her husband was cheating on with, like, she was there at their events or like just standing to the side and shit like that. But I'm like, I can't imagine being like Catherine. She's beautiful, bro. Like, she is one of the influencers, YouTubers, whatever, that is like actually really pretty, like naturally too, right? But even though she got her boobs done, but she got them recently taken out or whatever, but she's just naturally pretty. And I'm like, how do men get these beautiful wives and be cheating like that? Like, it actually amazes me. Like, same thing with like Jay-Z and Beyonce, but that's another story. But he basically cheated on her multiple times with like random Instagram models, or maybe some easy ass girls that were in Miami and like all the parties he went to or whatever, all this stuff, right? But she was like staying behind him all these years, basically from 2020 to like 2023 or whatever, when they were posting about it in real time as he was cheating on her. She was defending him, being like, oh, he's still a good father to my kids, he's still a good man. And then you could see her like slowly detaching, right? But I don't know, in my opinion, it just sucks when women end up with like these shitty men, and it sucks when people don't believe the women as well, like the literal victims who have evidence tell their story. People are still like, oh no, I don't believe her, he's not a cheater. And then next thing you know, after she reveals her book and everyone's hating on Austin, he's doing damage control as a true narcissist, where he basically comes out on Snapchat. You know, that's how he makes his money. And he comes out posting all these Snapchat stories telling like his side of the story, whatever. He basically admitted to the cheating, but then he claims that, like, I don't know, like, he was victim blaming. Like, he was basically saying that Catherine didn't want to have sex with him, so that's why he started cheating. She basically was like, okay, go ahead and go cheat on me, because I don't really want to have sex with you for real. But whole time, if he's cheating on her, or if he wasn't doing anything to please her, no woman is gonna want to have sex with a guy like that who's not doing anything for you. Like women don't get turned on like that. It's like you can tell with her, everything is mental type shit, right? So if he's like talking down on her, looking at other women, she's not gonna want to have sex with him. So she started like acting crazy, be like, yeah, I'm the Virgin Mary, whatever. And he basically goes on saying that she's like crazy, saying that she wishes she was a mermaid, and she's like really got in tune with her spirituality, blah blah blah. But in my opinion, I feel like she only like turned crazy like that because she was coping from all the trauma that he put her through, you know? Because I guess people, if you didn't watch them, you would probably be like, oh, you know, she actually is crazy, what the fuck, and you know, he's crazy too, blah blah blah, right? But in my opinion, I feel like men don't know that their cheating and emotional abuse can actually cause the woman to become crazy, do crazy things, say crazy things, right? Because it's literally just like a trauma coping response. So after he released his Snapchat stories, you got everybody on TikTok basically going back to his side, and they're like, oh, I believe him, she is crazy, blah blah blah, like all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Like, it's like literally true narcissists, they know how to work the audience, they know what to say, use a little bit of humor, try and make it casual, you know, in order to get the audience's attention off of him. So I'm like, nobody else sees this, right? But obviously, like the women who have been through trauma, dealt with a narcissist, we can see the signs of what he's doing, manipulating the audience, right? But of course, the young women and young guys who follow him and the incels and whatever, they're gonna take his side no matter what. Or like, you know, the people who haven't been in a toxic relationship, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take his side, blah blah blah. Whole time, Austin literally has rape allegations against him. So I'm like, oh, so like even if they say Catherine was doing some crazy stuff in her house and she shouldn't have the kids, I'm like, this man has all these allegations against him. And I feel like people forgot about that. Like when there was allegations where he went to a hotel room with his dad and they were holding down some girl against her will and did shit to her, drugged her, who the hell knows, right? But there was all these allegations against him. And he somehow bounces back. Like all these men who always do stuff like this always bounce back after the terrible stuff they did. Yet when it's a woman who does some terrible shit, they get all this negative stuff said about them. Their whole career gets canceled, but the men still keeps going on. Same thing with like Chris Brown and Rihanna. Like Chris Brown did shit, and he didn't only do stuff to Rihanna. He hit multiple women. There was multiple instances. There was multiple like court cases and blah blah blah, right? But women still support him. Men still support him. Like what the fuck, you know? So it's just crazy how it's like these people we be watching on YouTube aren't really who they say they are. And I feel like that situation like that has to be like the biggest sign that we don't really know these YouTubers for real. You only know what they show the camera. Okay, same thing with De'Ara and Ken. They were popular YouTubers. Everybody thought they were gonna get married. Next thing you know, Ken cheats on De'Ara. De'Ara ends up with a woman, and it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? You know? But it's like, I feel like in this case with Catherine Austin, the only people that are suffering are the kids, right? Because I'm thinking like, obviously, like you see your parents going through this divorce, the older child is gonna know, right? And then you see all these allegations that your dad has on the internet. She's gonna see that when she grows up, and she's gonna read her mom's book when she grows up, and then she's gonna see her dad's response to the mom's book when she grows up, and she's gonna be like, what the fuck, my parents are crazy, you know? So literally the only people suffering in situations like this is the kids, which actually sucks, because I feel like people don't realize that kids can pick up trauma from a young age. Like they don't have to be a teenager to understand that your parents are getting a divorce and living in two different houses, and they be fighting and arguing and hitting and like all this shit. Kids know that from a really early age, especially like babies. They start to like mimic the actions. Like if they see like the husband physically abusing the mom or whatever, the baby will start hitting things in a nearby radius, okay? But anyways, it's just like surprising that their situation, not really surprising, because Austin is a narcissist. I can see it from a mile away, since I first started watching their channel. But I don't know, it's like scary surprising, like how things can change so fast. Like one day you love somebody, you think you're gonna be with them forever, and then the next thing they end up like physically abusing you, mentally abusing you, killing you in some cases. It's like, what the fuck, you know? But yeah, that was my 2 cents on the Ace family situation. If you want to see more, go to TikTok, because all of my posts are blowing up, bro. I'm getting likes, comments, followers, blah blah blah, and like of course all the incels are flooding my page saying like, oh, Austin is innocent, blah blah blah. Okay, that man has allegations against him, and you want those kids to live with him when he has 2 daughters? Me personally, I would not allow that. Okay, like I know Catherine probably be doing some crazy spiritual drugs and shit, but like he has allegations against him. I don't care. And people be saying like, oh, Austin is a good father, even though he cheated on his wife 100 times, he's still a good father to the kids. I'm like, bro, if he was a good father, he wouldn't have cheated in the first place. Because once you cheat, that creates a broken household, and now your kids are suffering, going from mom's house to dad's house and back and forth, separate holidays, blah blah blah, right? Trauma. So if he was a good dad, he wouldn't have gave his kids that trauma to begin with. But anyway, stay tuned for more videos where I'm just fucking ranting, because what is this? This is only like May 12th, 13th, whatever the fuck day it is, and there's so much stuff happening in the news. So stay tuned for more videos.